Welcome back, YouTubers. Previous episodes, I have mentioned more and more stuff about War Thunder here, and I have a lot to cover, and this is definitely going to be one of my longer, I can't say videos, but video series, I guess. Anyway, last time I mentioned more about crew skills and experiences I've had with crew skills and their lack of, I should add. One thing I did not mention, which I'm going to mention now, are upgrades to the tank. Now, unlike World of Tanks, your upgrades are actually a bit different than those found in that title. Simply because you don't get new or better guns in the game. You get the vehicle's top gun it had during wartime. You're not going to say, okay, this guy's going to get a 105mm, 10.5mm gun, and the tank never had it. It's not like that. This game is historically, from what I have seen so far, accurate to the armaments. So yeah, here we have upgrades. We'll do that right here. Modifications. This is the upgrade screen, pretty much. Again, you need research points here to research all this. You get that for shooting tanks and stuff like that. Obviously, it goes also to crew experience also gets used, but that's a different type. It's not shown here from what I understand. Silver Lions are pretty much like credits in World of Tanks, and of course, Gold Eagles are just like gold in World of Tanks, and so on and so forth in Armored Warfare. But we all have the general idea of how the stuff goes. You know, they're not using the same lingo, but it's the same stuff. Let's face the facts. If you say credits in one title and it's not credits, everyone knows what you're talking about if they've played the other titles. Anyway, here you have the loadout of everything that you can upgrade on just this vehicle, and you need certain points to upgrade and unlock them. What's really interesting is the fact that you have options. Some tanks have different types of ammo. Actually, I think all of them do. For German vehicles, from what I understand, the base ammo is what you want to stay with on almost all the tanks you have. Stay with the basic ammo that's always given. You know, other types, and it can get confusing. And like this is an APCR round, and it says here APCR, armor piercing composite rigid shell. This is basically meant to punch through armor, because shells, from what I understand, at longer ranges lose their punching power. They're not going to go straight through as it would, let's say, if the guy's 50 feet in front of them versus someone who's at half a mile away. And APCR, on the other hand, works a little bit better. It helps cut through the armor to punch through. The problem here is it has minimum, what's the word I want to say? It has a minimum of shell particles that shoot out of it when it hits. It has enough power to punch through the entirety of the tank's armor. I've had games where I've punched right through armor, one side out the other. But anyway, there's multiple options depending on the tank of ammo types. There's also fire prevention, parts for repairs, which, by the way, that's another issue I have with World of Tanks and this. Has anyone ever modeled in here before? I have, and you're given, basically on most models, tools to put on the tank. You know, put it on the outside. They have little brackets you can attach the tools to. And if you look at most tank pictures during World War II and whatnot, they had those tools displayed. So why? I don't understand. Can't you repair your tank with the toolkit? Blows my mind. World of Tanks, you get tracked, you gotta wait for your track to come back. It does after a couple seconds. In World of Tanks, it's a little bit longer. Or not a little bit longer, but in War Thunder, it's a little bit longer than World of Tanks. But having a not a first aid kit, but a repair kit in World of Tanks increases, and so does the repair skill on crews, and it's very similar here, but this is sort of like a repair kit, and you start repairing. It's extra parts, I guess, repair parts and tools. See, it says it right there, and that's bogus bullshit. I mean, come on, let's exit out of here for a second. Let's look at this. Huh? Here's a tool right here. Wow, here's another tool across the bottom. And, well, look at this shit. And there's a jack. What about the other side? Oh, there's a fire extinguisher. Oh, there's a part of the jack system again. And look, if you go down, more parts. Part for towing, a crank, shovel. I mean, come on, guys. Gaijin and Gaijin and oh god, I have an absence of thought here. Wargaming must think we are retards. We have to pay for repair kits and shit like that. Hell, they're already on the goddamn tank. It comes with it. Look at it. I mean, why the hell would I want a fire extinguisher if I fucking have one on the outside already? I mean, come on. And most tanks usually came with fucking fire extinguishers, people. It blows my mind, but if you go into modifications, apparently you can't use these fire extinguishers unless you have it upgraded. It's like, it's almost like in a safe, you know? There's a little safe in the corner of the tank that's not being used. Now, there's the fire extinguisher. We can't give you the combination until you fully research so you can unlock it, so you can grab it, take it out, and use it in case you're on fire. That's pretty stupid, people. I mean, does no one else see this? You know, other things I could understand. Tracks, sure, track maintenance increase, I understand that, yes. Suspension, better suspension, yes. Filters, yes. Transmission, yes. Engine, yes. Brake system, yes. Crew replenishment, to some degree, yes. Elevation, yes. Ammo type, yes. Adjustment of fire, yes. Horizontal drive, yes. Parts and fire prevention? Really? This is the basic stuff that tanks come with. I'll show you any model in this game. I'll do it right now. And here, we'll go here. Yeah, we saw the Panzer Jaeger 4. Let's go even to, let's say, a captured British tank. Are there tools on here? Holy shit, there's a shovel, something else. And by the way, what's not displayed on here? There's storage boxes on here, people. Oh, what's this little thing? The bonnet? Oh yeah, the bonnet. What could be in there? I don't know. Important stuff like tools, crew's personal belongings and whatnot. Come on, people. Seriously, I don't see why we as a community have to sit here and grind through stuff that we necessarily don't need if the tank already has it. Basically, all you're saying is this helps you repair faster or puts out a fire. I mean, the fire one is the most damning. I mean, look at some of these tanks. They have fire extinguishers on them, and most tanks have fire extinguishers in them from what I understand. But you have to unlock the stuff? Come on, that's just stupid. It's outright stupid. It's only for grind sake. People are gonna sit there. Usually when I buy a tank, I grind it out completely. I research all the parts and everything. That's in World of Tanks, Armored Warfare, War Thunder. I research everything. And I don't know what else to say. I mean, come on, fire extinguishers and tools and parts. I don't know what else to say. I really don't. It blows my mind. But yes, that's how it works pretty much with the grinding. Again, this is one of those games you have to sit there and grind through. Early tiers, not a problem. You usually get a few matches in and your tank can be fully upgraded. I mean, you have to suck pretty hardcore for not being able to upgrade. Sometimes I shouldn't even say you have to suck pretty bad. You have to have some really, really, really bad games. Because I'll tell you right now, the games I have had in this game, in War Thunder, has defied logic. I go from one time killing 19 enemy tanks in one game to a patch that's released, and now I'm lucky if I get 2 kills. I mean, I am doing a jig. I'm doing backflips out of my computer chair here if I get 2 kills. I mean, I stopped playing the game when I was just barely making 900 credits here, Silver Lions. 900. Analyze that. Anyone who has played this game knows how pathetic 900 is. Try playing the game and having match after match after match where you shoot the tank and nothing happens. The shell either bounces, goes through, doesn't hit anything, or hits something and the damage is minimal while the guy just turns the turret, aims, shoots, kills you with 1 hit. That's the end. And that's another thing I have to mention that is in this game that Gaijin has actually said that they're not going to remove from the game and actually want players to do this. And if anyone's wondering what that item, what that issue is, which I think anyone who's played this game that might be reviewing this video, they'll know exactly what I am about to mention. That is the base raping, spawn killing. It is in abundance in this game. You will have players park their tank in a large open field that's relatively flat. I'm looking at the Poland map here because that map is absolutely horrendous with this. They could park way out in left field, pun intended, and just wait for players that get killed to spawn back and shoot them. Now, Gaijin has come up with the idea of, oh hey, we'll add some God mode time to them where they can't be hurt at the beginning of a match. Alright, that sounds logical and fair, but let me put it this way in the more perspective. It lasts for a few seconds. By the time it has worn off, if you're in a slow vehicle, you're good as fucked. Let's say you're driving the Matilda or the Churchill. They're not very fast. You got someone on the other side shooting at you, and firstly, they're not going to hurt you. The only way of this thing being deactivated, from what I understand, is I think you have to shoot back. But these guys will stand here in the fields, shoot you. As soon as that invincibility runs off, they kill you. And worst part is, some of the tactics some players do will drive around the entirety of the map, 2 or 3 guys, and will come into base and just annihilate everyone that's over by base. I've had gameplay. I think I actually posted a video of I was in one of the maps, a desert map, El Alamein, or it was basically right from the spawn point. Kind of goes down and there's a bridge that you have to capture or some shit like that. And both sides there's this hill that goes down and there's rocks and tanks hide behind it and shoot at each other, and they get caught up in this crossfire. It's a bit of a stalemate. Who's going to have the balls of steel to drive up and cap the point and get killed, you know? That's what it comes down to. Someone on the enemy team actually had the brains to drive around the entirety of the map and come across the side, the back side of our base, and just kill everyone. Because no one has having the logic to look at the map and say, look, there's enemy tanks there. And they end up getting killed. And you have players that will rack in 20 some odd kills by doing this tactic, and some tanks are damn well nearly impossible to stop. I'm looking at the Calliope. I think I was in Karelia, and there's this cliff or something. I think it's Karelia. I can't remember. It's been a while. It might not be. I don't know. But Sherman Calliope drives right on in, pops everyone with rockets, reloads, fires, kills everyone. The guy walked away with nearly 30